It's Christmas Eve, and it's snowing all over the place in general. It's really snowing heavily though in North Georgia, which is unusual. In the Metro Atlanta area, we've got some flurries, but nothing, no accumulation, nothing to show for it. And it's 2020 Christmas, so it's a COVID Christmas, and that means it's weird. So we're kind of alone on Christmas. There's no traveling for us, no packing of cars or driving around and sleeping in a different bed or driving. A lot of driving usually on Christmas. Not this year, though. We are hanging out. We're at home. Everyone's at home. And we're texting about it. A lot of cocktails being made across the country today, I think. We do have business to attend to. So I'm going to get to a quick look at our Christmas mailbag. And that really is just our email inbox, and it's Christmas time, so it's a Christmas mailbag.
I told you that yesterday, right? We've had the same conversation 2 days in a row.
So last week, I started the show talking about how great 2020 has been for the MindField. And I got a lot of blowback for it on Twitter and over email. And it seems like 2020 wasn't as great for everyone else as it was for my messy podcast. And after reading the emails and reading Twitter, I agree. It was a short-sighted and selfish way to look at things, and I was only thinking about myself and how popular the podcast had gotten, because it has. So, let's dip into the mailbag.
Dear Will, I hear that your numbers are up on the MindField. I really wish I could say I was happy for you, and I wish your good fortune was affecting literally anything else in the world other than you. This world on fire. Hundreds of thousands of people have died who normally wouldn't have died this year. Millions are out of work, so maybe read the room a little bit before you celebrate your stupid podcast. Signed, 69clown at yahoo.com.
Okay, that's a real downer. It's kind of a slap in the face, and it's tough to hear. And, the fact is that the numbers are up. But, for the podcast, they are up. But I realize that things aren't great for people, for the rest of the world. And they're not great, in my life, but except in the way that the podcast is measured. So, yeah, it wasn't a great way to celebrate the end of 2020. And I could have done a better job with that. Looking at our next email, this is bad timing on this one because our next piece of email is from podstatus.com's Chief Representative of Podcast Management.
Dear Will, lots of great numbers for you this week in the true crime and UFO comedy category, primarily in Luxembourg and in Noblesville, Indiana. A lot of activity in those two places primarily, but really just numbers are looking great across the board. Sponsorship opportunities are starting to appear. We think that if you can reach out to the ASMR improv comedy crowd, you can start to see some money coming in 2021. Congratulations. Maybe you should change the name of the podcast to The Money Field. Haha, just kidding. Sincerely, Kevin, podstatus.com.
Okay, great. Okay, we don't need to... Okay, see, this is not a great time to play the theme song. The money theme song, because it sounds bad. It makes us sound bad. It makes me sound bad. I'm sitting here bragging about how much money I'm making off the podcast, and, well, the world's on fire. All right, well, then just let it play, and then just wrap it up. Cut all this out, too, by the way. Well, welcome to episode 38. It took me a while to crank this one out. It's a special one, though, because it's episode 38, and there was a band called 38 Special. So to me, that makes it special. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? It kind of makes you think. 38 Special. I was in a band about 18 years ago that was a filthy country comedy bluegrass band. Typical,
What was that guy's problem? Yeah! You, man.
As you might be able to tell, we are professionals. We played right through the feedback and didn't even let it us up.
This song right here is dedicated to a woman in the audience tonight. She knows who she is. Her name's Brittany.
Bad musicians. Like, we weren't good. We weren't real musicians. We weren't trying to be. I was just learning how to play rhythm guitar, and my buddy was just trying to sing the most offensive song he could to piss off a girl he was. So he just tried his best. The song was actually kind of catchy, and we just started singing it basically 24 hours a day. And then the next thing you knew, we had 2 songs. And then this wonderful guy, Downtown Calvin Pound, showed up. And he had 3 hilarious songs. He had himself 3 songs, and they were quite filthy and quite offensive and really, really catchy.
And if I ever go down her road, I'm gonna close my eyes and hold my nose.
So we had him into the fold, and one guy started playing banjo along with the guitar, and then we started adding some real musicians, and we called them the orchestra. But we were still bad because the subject matter was bad and mean-spirited and vile, and my guitar playing was still really bad, even though we had 3 real musicians with us. You see this kind of stuff in college towns a lot. It's that lowest common denominator on purpose humor where you're trying to see how low you can go, and then if people would continue to laugh while you went lower. And when you're young, you just think you're just incredible, and you're just really pushing the envelope to do this. But it was like broad stroke, racially, like a song about wanting to like hook up with an Asian woman started like this on our album. This is how the song started. And the songs were just dumb too. They were just like sophomoric and just really funny.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many pounds of pot can you pack in the back of a rented Cadillac in Arizona?
I mean, honestly, and it like funny. It just was. So one of my buddies, he was not in the band, but he was like a supporter, and he was doing roofing for the summer, and that's not important, but the guys he was working with were roofers, and they weren't there for the summer. They weren't like going back to university in the fall. He was there because his dad like owned the roofing company or owned the construction company or whatever. So he plays one of the guys our album, and remember, the music, like, this is what we sounded like live. And the guy hears it and then tells him, yeah, I like it. Sounds like 38 Special. Now, 38 Special is a southern rock band from Jacksonville, but they didn't sound like us, okay? Remember this. This is what we sounded like. And this is what 38 Special sounds like. So I don't hear it myself. I don't hear the similarities. But I thought it was a funny story. And it's the 38th episode. And when I heard that it was going to be our 38th episode, the first thing I thought of, for some reason, was 38 Special and the roofer saying that our band sounded like that. You guys go. Christmas week. We had a good Christmas. It was quiet. It was a different Christmas. It almost feels like we haven't had Christmas yet, even though it was a couple days ago, and technically we're going to start taking down the decorations, I guess, but it feels weird because it feels like we didn't do it. I'm going to leave you with a little experimental thing that I made. I saw something on my friend's Facebook page that said the new Taylor Swift song reminded her of, she said it's like Sonny Came Home by Sean Colvin and Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood had a musical baby, and I'm dying for someone to do a Girl Talk like remix. So it was late at night. Sometimes I like to do like little audio projects or little assignments, creative assignments, and just wrap it up. Like don't make it an ongoing thing. Like it's usually not very great. It's usually not very good, but there's an end to it. I just say I'm going to work on it tonight. And I saw that thing on social media, and I just said I'll do that tonight. I'll just stay up late and put a couple hours into this mashup of Sonny Came Home and Before He Cheats. I'm going to play it as the exit wound tonight. Sorry, did I say wound? Exit song. Oh, God. See you guys soon. You're now leaving the Mindfield.